Hi everyone, I just want to go over your guest editorial, which is your next major project. So this is kind of like the final project for this class. You're basically building on the BEAM project, but you're kind of using more synthesis than summary, and you're not so much using rhetoric. So the idea is that you're going to be curating a new collection, so kind of like BEAM, serving as editor for a class journal that's called Aggie Success, whose audience is fellow undergrads at UC Davis. So we have a sample here where you can see this is the example of this student journal that exists. And this is an example of a guest editorial, okay? So this is a real guest editorial for a real journal. We're just kind of doing a fake one. That's the idea, is that you're the editor of this journal, and you're making what's called a special collection, and you're putting together a bunch of articles on one of the 3 ideas of motivation for persistence that Tinto identified in his article. So you're going to focus on either a sense of belonging, self-efficacy, or belief in the curriculum. So you're just choosing one of those ideas to kind of create a conversation about this using the texts from this course. So this is going to showcase your ability with the student learning outcomes of being able to synthesize your use of sources, writing in this genre, and really making your writing clear and direct. So essentially what you're doing is you're going to pick 4 articles and kind of talk about why you're using these articles. So there's 4 major sections of this project. You have an introduction, kind of like a rationale. You're introducing the issue, problem, or question that your special issue addresses. So that's either going to be sense of belonging, self-efficacy, or belief in the curriculum. Then you're going to give like a little 2-sentence summary about this special issue and a synthesis of these 5 articles, sorry, not 4, 5 articles that you choose for the collection that connects the issues in the intro with the articles in the special issue of the journal. So essentially what you're going to do is take this idea of either a sense of belonging, self-efficacy, or belief in the curriculum, and you're going to combine it with one of these ideas. So you're going to say, okay, here's this idea, here's what it is, and these 5 articles talk about it in these ways. And you're going to write some synthesis and some summaries kind of showing that. You're then going to write 5 guiding questions for readers as they read the issue. And then you're going to make a references list of the articles that appear in the issue. So there's actually a sample one down here that has some nice annotations. So we have this title, and then it says, notice the title is a central theme. The sense of importance and complexity is established early. The stakeholders are identified and include the readers. The issue is clear to the readers. The editor included evidence from their own life, which is optional. The evidence is specific and is valuable to the readers and shows ethos. College is a time for learning, independence, and creating bonds that will last a lifetime. These friendships not only improve mental health, but they also increase the student's willingness to persist in completing their college degree. So then we have Tinto here, and then it says, anchoring is important. So this is obviously talking about a sense of belonging. So notice how long this introduction is. It's kind of a few paragraphs long. So don't think of it as just one paragraph. You want to think of it as a section of your writing. So then you have this section where you talk about what are the articles that will be in this specific issue. And then you kind of say, well, here's an article, here's what it talks about, and here's how it's related to belonging. Here's another article, here's what it's about, and here's how it's related to belonging. And then you're going to say, this is why I chose them, blah, 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 right? And then you're going to kind of explain why did you choose these articles, what is important about them, how do they work together. So notice that we only have 2 articles here, but you actually are going to need 5. So there would normally be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have this nice long excerpt explaining why these articles are good, why you chose them. And then again, you're also going to incorporate 5 questions, 5 guiding questions here to show what you're kind of referencing, what is important for readers to think about as they read, and then your references list. So the idea is that, and again, this should be 5 references. So this isn't a small assignment, but it is very related to the BEAM project. So this idea of curating a collection where you're picking articles and you're kind of talking about what they have to bring to the table concerning this theme. So that's essentially what you will be doing for this assignment. My recommendation to get started is to start thinking about which theme speaks to you the most. So are you more interested in talking about a sense of belonging, a sense of self-efficacy, or belief in the curriculum? Once you pick one of those, I want you to start thinking about which articles kind of center themselves around that theme, and that's where you want to start. Obviously, another very helpful page that I would really strongly recommend you spend some time on is going to be this introduction to synthesis, because this is essentially what you will be doing, is this focus on synthesis. So I have this video about it as well as a handout talking about synthesis. So I recommend you watch the video, look at the handout, and see how those are related to BEAM. So what you could even do is watch the video, look at this handout, right? I'll show you this handout. Okay, what is synthesis? How is it different from summarizing? Read through this. There's a few examples here. What I really recommend you do is kind of look through this and then go back to the example here and see how is this person synthesizing, right? So look at this example that we've provided for you and then see how the synthesis is played out in that example.